friends. I'm coming at you with a video today about how to get a special order bag from Louis Vuitton. I have a very small doggy on my lap joining me for this video today. If you haven't seen my last Louis Vuitton unboxing, I mentioned that I was trying to put in for a few special orders and asked if you all wanted to hear more about like the Louis Vuitton special order system, and it seems like you do, so here I am. Also, if you find luxury unboxings, luxury vlogs, cooking vlogs, that kind of stuff enjoyable, hit me with a little subscribe if you're feeling charitable today. And now I'm gonna get into the meat of this video. So when talking special orders in the luxury purse world, I think you all are probably familiar with the way like Hermes special orders work, which is you have to be invited to do it. Each SA only gets a certain amount of them allocated to them per, I think, half of the year. They do them in two cycles. Louis Vuitton is totally the opposite of that. So essentially, you can walk in and ask for one of two types of special orders. One is called an MTO, a made to order, and the other is called a creation. So let me break it down for you. I have received one MTO, and she's sitting right here. This is Ollie. She is an ostrich capucine. She has light gold hardware, and she was a made to order purchase. So how made to order works is different than a creation. So let me go into MTOs first, and then we'll do creations. So MTOs are essentially like, you go in as you would at Hermes for a special order, and you pick a bag, and then you pick from the swatches of things that they have available, and you can get your bag custom created for you. Essentially, the SAs have a program where they can take, I think this is not an exhaustive list, but the Alma, the Capucine, the Rose Devant, Petite Mal, those are all like in the made to order system, so they can mock up like if you want ostrich or if you want croc. I should also say that essentially MTOs fall into two categories. For handbags, it's gonna be your exotics. So you can walk in and do an ostrich or a croc, and there's like certain cookie cutter things you can choose from there. So like whether it's a beautiful Alma in like a Bordeaux croc with gold hardware, or if you wanted to do something like what I did, you essentially can choose from like preloaded options, and you get more options than you might in a store. So for example, if you're really into like green ostrich, like that like jade color comes in from time to time, that is usually only produced with like a certain type of hardware in the workshop. So if you like that, but you want, for example, rose gold hardware, that is an option in the MTO system. Or if you are a Petite Mal collector and you want it in croc and you want rose gold hardware, you can do that. Or you can get light gold hardware, which is also way harder to find. So anyway, you've got your handbags, right, in the MTO system, but then you also have things like hard-sided trunks. Canvas pieces aren't really like made to order for bags because you have no problem like finding them in the wild. But when it comes to hard-sided pieces, you can MTO those, and you can choose from, like, for example, if you want a jewelry box but you want it to have a certain kind of suede microfiber lining, there's like yellow, orange, blue, light blue, bright red. So you can kind of customize that, and then you can also get your initials painted on it or stripes painted on it. I will caveat and say that there used to be a program with Louis Vuitton where you could get anything painted on a hard-sided item. So a picture of like a portrait of your pet or a picture of the Eiffel Tower. They have done away with that now. You can only get what's considered their like classic prints, which would be either your initials or like some type of like striped pattern. I just found out about that, so more to come. I have a jewelry box that I got painted with like beautiful like English garden ivy and flowers on it, and I guess that will be no more, so it is even more of a treasure. Your typical MTO, so like let's say, I believe Miss Ollie was around 10 grand, which is pretty reasonably priced for exotics. I mean, if you compare to Hermes, it's gonna be probably like a third more, I would say, like starting value for Hermes with like ostrich. If you're looking at a croc capucine, for example, in the same size, I think you're getting closer to like $24,000, $25,000 starting price, and then it goes up from there. I should also mention that the Louis Vuitton version of the Himalaya bag, so they call it the Sahara leather, it looks the same to me. I'm sure there are differences, but you guys get what I'm saying. That is also made to order, and you can walk in and request that now. I believe those start around 40 grand and only come in certain finishes with certain hardware. You can't necessarily customize that one as much because it is more of an art piece that has a little bit more workshop control. But in this moment, you can walk in, pay your full deposit, and you're on the list, and it'll come in probably like, you know, 6 months to a year. My ostrich bag took 6 months to be made to order and got it like that. So the other side of Louis Vuitton special orders would be the creations. So this is a little more nuanced, bear with me. I have submitted 2 requests for creations, and this is how the process goes. You talk with your sales associate and you say, for example, I would like a Speedy 25 bandolier in Bordeaux croc with gold hardware. Your sales associate may have some idea of like what is producible, what is not producible, just based on what they've seen come out of the workshop. But that said, like, you can, in theory, sort of propose any sort of creation to the workshop. So the artist on staff will mock up what it is that you want to propose. Your sales associate will then send it to you for approval, and then they will send it to France to the workshop. The workshop will take a look at it, figure out if they can source what you're asking, if, you know, like the type of bag is conducive to the leather you want to choose, or if you are doing like a trunk creation, if they will entertain the idea. They reserve the right to just say no. But what happens if they accept the creation is they will then provide a price. Your sales associate will let you know, good news, your creation has been accepted by the workshop, and then we'll take the full deposit. Creations typically take a bit longer than made to orders because, keep in mind, like they're more one of a kind, right? So when I submitted my MTO for the Bordeaux Speedy 25, the workshop did accept it, but it was priced pretty expensive. I think it was like too close to like a Sahara bag, and I decided to decline that in favor of the bag that I just unboxed, which was pretty similar, and you know, like $2,700 instead of close to 40. So you know, the creation is, because it is more bespoke and a little bit more like limitless in terms of what you can ask for, the pricing is really just, it's gonna vary. And if you're asking for a one-of-a-kind item that does, you know, there's not like necessarily a blueprint for in that type of leather, it's gonna take more work. The workshop is gonna charge for that. I've also submitted a creation request for like a stack of trunks to put in my closet, and like, you know, like the top is a hat box, and the piping on it instead of vachetta would all be bright red croc. TBD on that. That is a very pricey investment, but we'll see what they come back with. I think in general, if you can dream it, they can probably do it. One pro tip to think about is if you are putting in a creation proposal for a bag, that is the time to get like a matching wallet or accessory if that's what you want. Submitting for it after the fact tends to get denied, because if you're submitting like a creation for like a small amount of a leather, the workshop is less likely to approve that because it's not a good use of the skin, right? If you're doing a bag and so you've already got a large piece of material that you're working with, then they'll, you know, they can tack that on, but typically the smaller requests are gonna get denied. Before I filmed this video, I did chat with my sales associate at Louis to make sure I had all my facts straight, and he did mention he has some amazing ideas for creation proposals. So this is rare that I do this, but he gave me the okay. If any of you are seriously interested in doing a creation or made to order and you want somebody to sort of like, you know, shepherd you through the experience, if you're looking for a Louis Vuitton SA and you are local to the Los Angeles area, or you're okay sort of like working remotely, DM me on Instagram. My handle is the same as it is here, Handbag Betch, and I will put you in touch. Serious inquiries only though. Remember, you do have to put the deposit up front. It's kind of an underutilized service, or it flies below the radar a little bit at Louis Vuitton. Side note, I told my SA a while ago that I make these videos, right? And now he is like personally invested. He's like, is this week a Louis Vuitton video? He watches them, so hi friend, thanks for all the info. It's something that I have given a lot of thought to, like whether you do or do not disclose to your sales associates like that this is what you do, especially because my channel is still really small and in like the growing phase. So I'd love to hear in the comments below if you tell your SAs that you make videos, if you do, or what you think about it. My Louis Vuitton associate and I are so close that it seemed like a natural thing to do. So he was excited about it and loves to help feed me information for these sorts of videos so that I can pass it along to you all. I'm curious, what would you propose to do a made to order or a creation for? There's endless possibilities, and it's kind of cool that you can just like walk in and do it now. I imagine in the future, as this service grows, it will become more Hermes-like and it'll be a little more guarded. You'll have to have established history, but for now, kind of cool that you can just walk in and do it. And if it's something that you've been thinking about, I highly recommend. This is one of my most complimented bags because you just don't see it out and about a lot. And you know, you can pick from a good number of the classics, which is pretty cool. I would love to do an Alma in like a croc maybe. I don't know, I think the Alma is such a classic shape. We'll see. I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next Monday in another video.